In 1993, a little indie game called Doom was released. Now we know Doom as the godfather of all shooters, but there's another reason why the game is special. It was released for free. And the kicker, they averaged $100,000 in revenue every day. How did they do it? Let's take it back to 1992. id Software just released Wolfenstein 3D, and it was doing very well. This is John Romero. He's one of the leaders and level designers at id. Wolfenstein was his idea, and he was great at coming up with crazy ideas. This is John Carmack. He's the lead programmer at id, and he's the ace in the studio's hole. Carmack is such a great programmer that the entire outside world is disposable. For real disposable. Like the time his cat became a bit of a problem. On top of being aggressive towards strangers, she used Carmack's apartment as her litter box. The finishing blow? Peeing on a new leather couch. Carmack simply took her to the vet, who euthanized her. But this didn't bother Carmack. To him, the cat was interfering with his primary function, programming. Therefore, the cat had to go. Now, back to Doom. After the team finished Wolfenstein, someone came knocking on the door. Nintendo. They asked for a port for the Super Nintendo, but with toned down gore and religious elements. Id said, sure. But the team already had a full plate on their hands. They were working on a prequel to Wolfenstein called Spear of Destiny, so they contracted the port to a friend who Masters of Doom names as Burger Bill. And it says here, they were known to keep a burger on their desk and nibble it occasionally for days on end. At this time, Carmack found himself with nothing to do. Spear was being made with the same tools as Wolfenstein, so he didn't need to make anything. He began stretching and prodding their game engine, and what he came up with was a game changer.
What? Wait.
He tweaked the engine to allow users to move at blinding speed. Players could whip around the maps with geometry and depth that the gaming industry hadn't seen before. Once Spear was finished, the team came together to discuss their next project. Carmack volunteered the idea of a game mashing together two of their favorite movies, Aliens and Evil Dead 2. Not everyone was immediately on board, but Romero and the majority agreed. They saw the speed and tone of Carmack's new engine and decided to pursue it. Right after they started development on Doom, Nintendo again. Hey, do you have that port we talked about? Oh yeah, of course. Give us just a moment. Hey, burger roll buddy.
How are your burgers tasting?
Fine, thanks for asking. You know, people usually don't care about how my burgers are tasting these days.
Awesome.
So how's that port coming along?
Oh yeah, I haven't done it. Yeah, I actually signed an
Exclusivity deal, so anything I create is actually technically property. id was not happy. One of the devs, Tom, drew a picture of burger with their titular entree, and Romero added a kitchen knife. The other devs joined in, and pretty soon Burger B's image and burgerness was left in tatters in the office kitchen. They were summoned to said office, saw the damage to the paper effigy, and was told, "Get out of my house!" Carmack finished up the port. Now, id was a small team, but they had big plans.
Let's go golfing.
Jay was in charge of marketing at the studio, and he began building up hype. First and foremost, the announcement post. Jay typed up the release with several promised features. Multiplayer with up to 4 players. New texture mapping, 35 frames per second. Remember Wolfenstein? It's primitive compared to Doom. Fans ate it up. Now, Jay decided to scheme up a different kind of marketing strategy. id was self-published, so if they wanted to have a physical release in stores, they had to arrange it themselves. Jay talked to retailers and gave them quite an offer. You guys can keep 100% of the profits. Use what you would pay us to advertise if you want, but pack the shelves. Make this thing fly. Retailers, of course, said
yes.
But all of this hype was starting to be a bit annoying.
Yeah, that's approved.
Fans found the office's phone number and began calling, asking for updates.
I'm over here.
Back at id, the release date was getting closer. Calls from fans became calls from haters.
Right, I'll tell you what, you're boring.
Hate mail piled up, accusing id of drumming up fake hype. But the team was locked in. They'd killed all their literal and metaphorical cats, and nothing could stop them. Launch day was December 10th.
Happy Christmas, Harry.
And they had a whole scheme set up. They had to have a way for thousands of people to download this game. Their key was a fan. David Data. Davey worked in the networking department of the University of Wisconsin Parkside. He had access to the school's high-speed file sharing system. The plan was, id would log on and upload the Doom files, then fans would hop onto the network and download it. Fast forward to the 10th. id has been up for 30 hours straight getting the game finished, and upload time is right around the corner.
Time to play the game.
The good news is, the game's completed. But the bad news is that they couldn't upload the files. The file room they were using was teeming with fans waiting for the game. David fixed that.
At everyone.
We aren't able to upload the files with so many users in the room. If everyone leaves, we can upload it. If you stay, there will be no game. Now leave! The room cleared out, and id was able to upload. High fives all around as the files trickled out. The team slunk off to their apartments to get their first peaceful sleep in weeks. Only Jay stayed to watch the files finish. The second the final byte was uploaded, 10,000 people flooded the server. The university data system crashed. The following days saw a remarkable series of bans. Colleges around the US were banning Doom from their computer labs because students were giving up their time and grades to pwn their friends. These labs had some of the most advanced machines in the world, and gamers wanted to use them. Some colleges took it so serial, they created anti-Doom software. If the game was detected on a device, it would automatically delete it. People had never seen anything like this game. It's one of the few cases where a game's marketing and finished product delivered on the hype. So how was id getting 100K a day if anyone could just download it? Well, since the game was everywhere, thousands of people were finishing it and wanting more, so they sent in checks for the promised follow-up. Carmack and Romero got their Ferraris, and id has been sunshine and rainbows ever since. More stories to come.